Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Minneapolis police say they are moving forward with a new plan that they hope will help curb crime involving teens.
The chief announced the plan less than 4 hours ago following 2 consecutive violent weekends where kids as young as 14 were involved. The most recent incident happened Saturday night at the corner of 5th and Hennepin. That's an area where Chief O'Hara says teens have been congregating late at night and into the early morning. Jessica Hart explains the changes the city's making.
Obviously, the last 2 weekends downtown, we've seen an uptick in violence.
Violence involving teenagers in downtown Minneapolis has the police chief concerned. Early Saturday morning, 2 people were killed and 3 others were hurt in a shooting at 5th and Hennepin. 2 of the injured were teenagers. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says they've seen an increase in more teens wandering downtown.
We are concerned that in both occasions, their presence has contributed to the disorder that then led to the tragic results that we have seen.
He isn't sure what's bringing them to the city, but he says over the last 2 months, they've been having issues with food trucks and vendors in the area.
It's not necessarily licensed versus unlicensed. It's operating in ways that are not appropriate for what the license allows.
O'Hara says people have told officers some of them are selling teenagers alcohol illegally. He says you'll start to see more Minneapolis police officers, mounted patrol, and uniformed and plainclothes Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies in that area, as well as community organizations. There's also a curfew always in place for those under 17, but O'Hara says it's difficult to enforce and is now asking community organizations to help.
Rather than just taking them to a space downtown where they can be immediately released, see if we're able to partner with some of our community-based organizations to do more for that young person.
O'Hara says they aren't ruling out a possible connection with the recent problems at Hennepin and 5th over the last 2 weekends. He tells us he doesn't have any specific evidence to support that, but much of it is just too much of a coincidence.